Hello everyone! New anthologies are out on Magic Arena, and I thought I would take this opportunity to show you a couple of fun cards that I'm excited for with Titania, Voice of Gaia in Historic Brawl. Now, Titania is a great commander. A 3-mana 3/4 with reach is excellent stats as it stands, and then there are additional effects as well. So whenever one or more lands are put into our graveyard from anywhere, we're going to gain 2 life. And additionally, at the beginning of our upkeep, if we have both 4 lands in our graveyard and Argoth, Sanctum of Nature, we can go ahead and meld those into Titania Gaia Incarnate. That's Vigilant, Reach, Trample, Haste. Its power and toughness is equal to the number of lands we control. We're going to bring all the lands out of our graveyard and to the battlefield, and if you recall, that's going to be at least 4 lands. And we can also pay 4 mana to put 4 +1/+1 counters on a land we control, turning it into an elemental creature with haste. So, pretty awesome. Lots of land synergies and lots of land graveyard synergies going on. Let's talk about some of the new cards that we've added here. Sylvan Scrying, new to Arena. This is going to let us find Argoth easier, or some of our other utility lands, which are going to be very useful. We also have included Primeval Titan. This is once again new from the anthologies. And when it enters the battlefield or attacks, we can search for 2 land cards, that's any lands, put them on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. Very strong for us. We're also including Worldspine Worm. We're going to be doing a lot of ramping over the course of the game, so having that Worldspine Worm is a great payoff for us. And Tooth and Nail as well. If we go ahead and pay that Entwine cost, not only do we get to search for 2 creature cards, but we can put them onto the battlefield directly, and we have a bunch of creatures that we'd like to have on the battlefield. Now, I'd mentioned briefly before that we do have some land graveyard synergies through running things like Crucible of Worlds, Ancient Green Warden, as well as some other ways of getting lands back out of our graveyard. We can get recurring value out of Riveter's Overlook here. This is going to gain us some life and let us search for a forest, put it onto the battlefield. Very strong. We also have Blast Zone. We can continually use Blast Zones, bringing it back out of the graveyard, which can also be very powerful for us. We also have the Land Destruction path with Field of Ruin and Ghost Quarter. Now, if our opponent isn't running a lot of basic lands, playing Ghost Quarter each turn, destroying one of our opponent's lands, it's going to be absolutely insane. Going to slow and steady push them out of the game. Aside from that, we have a bunch of early ramp and value that way. In terms of card draw, we've got ourselves Toski, which is going to be pretty strong for us, and Guardian Project. So that way, all of our creatures entering the battlefield will draw some additional cards. And then we have our landfall payoffs, things like Tireless Tracker, Tireless Provisioner, Skewed Swarm, making sure that we're hitting those landfall triggers, getting extra mana, extra value, and hopefully cascading that into a win. Now, if you guys have been enjoying my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on my latest videos. And if you do enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button and let me know. Let's go ahead and see how this deck does. Alright, here we are starting off against Joda Archmage Eternal. This is going to let our opponent cheat in some big spells by paying Wooburg, which is pretty fun for us. We can keep this opening hand. We've got Ramp with the Mystic, making our way up to the prime time, getting ready to get all the lands we need out onto the battlefield. Next turn, we've got an Augur of Autumn. Okay, Evolving Wilds. Let's go for Augur. Okay, yep, opponent's just ramping. We'll play out our full board. Next turn we'll have 6 mana. It's gonna let us use Primeval Titan. Okay, our opponent does have their color fixing. Let's play the land off the top of our library instead. Primeval Titan. Yep, we're gonna grab those 2 lands. So we want Argoth And I think we're also going to go for Lotus Field here. Nykthos is good, but Lotus Field, notably, is going to sacrifice 2 lands. We're going to gain some life off Titania, and that's going to get us closer to having all the lands we need in our graveyard to flip Titania. We can actually hit that next turn with Primeval Titan if we go ahead and grab ourselves Fabled Passage and the... Overlook, never mind, they get rid of Primeval Titan, that makes sense. It's gonna be a lot of value. Alright, well, let's go Nyx Bloom Ancient. Worldspine Worm on top. Play out the Evolution Sage. We've got a Worldspine Worm next turn. Lots of value for us. We have our opponent down at 12. Okay, here's Joda. Okay, start with the land. Let's go Worldspine Worm. Delighted Halfling. We're gonna move to combat. I think we're just gonna swing with everything here. They can block one of our small guys. That's not an issue. We've got it. Alright, here we are on the play. This looks like a great starting hand. We're going to go ahead and keep. We're up against Lannis, Cryptozoologist. We've seen this before. Let's go Arboreal Grazer. Let's put the Fabled Passage onto the battlefield. Okay, now we can go Sylvan Scrying here if we want. I think we'll activate the ability on our Fabled Passage first. And then I think we will go Sylvan Scrying. We're going to grab Argoth. I think it's just going to be best to have Argoth on us. No need to attack with our 0/3 Grazer. Okay. Pump plays out Lannis here. Let's go Argoth. And then I think we go Kami of the Bamboo Groves to get another land. No attacks, end the turn. Doing some good ramping. Okay, that's fine. Investigates, makes a food token. Can't attack yet. Now, World Shaper is a strong option for next turn. I do like this. This is going to get some more lands into our graveyard, hopefully. It's going to enable a synergy with Titania. No attacks. We'll just end the turn. Okay. Looking good. I'm doing plenty of investigating. Now, I know when we played Lannis, we went a heavy artifact route. Seems like they're going more the token synergies. Interesting. Alright. Yep. Looking good. Okay, we do find Scute Swarm here. Scute Swarm is very good for us. Let's see. Let's play out the Scute Swarm. Move to combat. We're going to swing with the World Shaper. They're reading what it does. I'm going to mill some cards. Okay, we do find a land. Now with Ramanap Excavator here, and with Riveter's Overlook, we're actually going to get 2 landfall triggers next turn off Scute Swarm, if we decide to go that path. We might find something better. Okay, Thought Monitor. So it does seem like they are going the Artifact Affinity route. Cool. Alright. Now that's a combo piece. Extra turns are always difficult. We'll see if they have a way to keep getting that back. Yep, tons of tokens. Okay. We're gonna play out the excavator. We're gonna play the overlook. Make that copy of Scoot Swarm. This is gonna go ahead and fetch us another land. 2 more triggers. We can also start looping Ghost Quarter with the excavator. Okay. I will elect to mill here. Didn't hit any lands, but that's okay. Yep, no blocks. So we are getting damage, that's good. Okay, yep. Opponent's drawn some cards, that's fine. They could do it again. And they will. I think they're looking for a way to deal with Scoot Swarm. Because 2 landfall triggers each turn is going to be really bad for our opponent. We also have Solemn Simulacrum, that's going to give us an additional landfall trigger. Next turn we can play Titania, Fabled Passage, get the 2 life. Simulacrum again. Okay, extra turn for our opponent, that's fine. Yep, that's fine. More triggers. This definitely has the potential to be a very long game since we both have very intense board states. If they can start looping their extra turns, that's going to be a problem because they have the Flying Thought Monitor. That being said, we will just block like this. If they can find a way to buff Thought Monitor, we will have an issue. Now, as always, we will be a little bit afraid of a Craterhoof Behemoth. Yep, now they have 2 flyers. See, it would also be good if we found a way to give ourselves some extra land drops. Okay. Looking good. Super wide board state on our opponent's behalf as well. Drawing another card, yep. We're not really going to be able to interact with this board. We're just going to try and overwhelm them with value. Remembering that the token limit is at 250, so we cannot have more than 251 Scoot Swarms. Okay. On to my turn. Titania is going to make attacking harder for their flyers. Okay, so we do have Nissa. Nissa can close out the game for us once we have enough Scoot Swarms and decide to swing it. So we're going to play Titania. Let's go Landfall Trigger on the Scoot Swarms. We're going to play for a win next turn, not this one. Yep. There's Fabled Passage. Perfect. Gain some life there. Another land comes untapped, all these landfall triggers. Solemn Simulacrum. We will be taking action here. Alright, even more Scoot Swarms. It is very possible for our opponent to find a way out of this, but I'm going to attack with the World Shaper here. We are going to mill. Alright, we hit all the lands we need to flip Titania next turn as well. Opponent doesn't block. It is an interesting choice here. Now, if World Shaper dies, we'll return all lands from our graveyard to the battlefield tapped, so that would stop the Titania from flipping, and Titania is going to bring back all these lands anyway. Next turn, we have Nissa. I'm going to use the -7. Okay. Yeah. With Titania flipping, which would be absolutely amazing for us, we're going to have even more forests on the battlefield. We can get 4 additional forests, so that's going to be +10/+10 on all of our creatures. We are looking at a lethal swing if they can't interact with our board. Okay. Interesting to see Time Twister over in the graveyard. Yep. They have a nice loop set up with the Omnis Traveler, and that's fine. They're not going to be able to block all the damage we have. This alone is going to be well over 300 damage once we use Nissa. And it looks like our opponent's tapped out. Okay. Old Gnawbone, sure. Okay. I was a little afraid that they were going to get something particularly good here. Old Gnawbone won't even be able to block one of our Skewed Swarm tokens once we use Nissa. And we're not going to be taking any damage here either. Barring Pact of Negation, I think we've got it. Yep, I don't think they knew that Titania had reach. Maybe they did. And we've got it. Alright, on the play. Riveter's Overlook to start. I think our hand is a little too expensive. We're going to want to find some more early game things to do, like this. This is much better. Turn 1, we've got the Elvish Mystic. I think we get out Titania before we try and Harrow. But we'll see if our opponent has early interaction. Sure. Okay, let's go Titania. Okay. Looking good. We're just going to end the turn. Harrow is an instant, so there's no need to use it early. We'll just hold up mana. Make our opponent wonder what we're doing. Maybe it'll disincentivize them attacking Titania. I think we just block here. Call the bluff. They can replay it if they hit landfall, so... if they decide to spend their mana on that, that's fine. Ah, gotcha. Okay. Well. We'll just go ahead and cast Harrow. We may lose Titanium here, but we have gotten some ramp out. Tooth and Nail is actually a great draw for us. Might as well, no reason not to. Slow and steady, we're going to keep on ramping. We have a ton of lands in our graveyard. That's enough to flip Titania, so we're just going to go ahead and play out everything we got here. Well, that's fine. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and... let's see, choose both options. We're going to be paying that Entwine cost. And we're going to get 2 creatures onto the battlefield. Now, which 2 do we want? That is a difficult choice. I think we go Nyxbloom Ancient and Primeval Titan. Now, Prime Time is going to get us Argoth, and I think... Let's see, Lotus Field is going to be really strong, so we're going to go for Lotus Field here. Now, notably, Lotus Field, having us sacrifice these lands, is going to accelerate us towards being able to get Titania. And we can play out the Dryad as well. We're in a pretty good spot now. 2 lands in our graveyard. Primeval Titan is going to get us some better things. That's fine. Looks good. Well, we're going to start by playing out Titania. We still have tons of mana. Swing out. Of course, we will be taking action here. I'm going to want Fabled Passage for sure. And then I think we take Riveter's Overlook. Alright, this is good. We're probably, on our opponent's end step, going to end up using Field of Ruin to make sure that way we hit our 4. Play out the Llanowar Elves. Yep, opponent's going to keep making dragons. Can use that to shoot down Titania. We really just need to keep Titania alive for 1 turn, and that's not working out for us too well. Okay. Let's see their trigger. They'll sacrifice the dragon. Kill Titania. Or they kill the Dryad. Honestly, that's the best case scenario for us. I'm just gonna respond using Field of Ruin. I don't care if they have the extra mana. I'll gain some life. We've got it, alright. Okay everyone, I hope you enjoyed. As we saw, Titania is great at ramping into some of those massive threats in our deck. We also have some recursive lands coming back out of our graveyard over and over again, making landfall triggers absolutely amazing for us. Now, if we do manage to meld Titania, that's often going to be game ending for us, but even when we don't, she is a very strong valued commander. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you have any ideas for another deck that you'd like to see me play, why don't you go ahead and let me know in a comment down below. I'll see you all next time.